Siargao is one of the most popular islands here in the Philippines, but over the last few years it's gotten absolutely crazy with tourism and expensive. So what if I told you I'd found a new island with 7 volcanoes, jungle waterfalls, white sandbars, tropical islands, and the friendliest locals I've met here in the Philippines. This is Camiguin Island, the most underrated island paradise here in the Philippines. And today I'm going to be showing you the best the island has to offer, how to get around, sharing real prices, and helping you decide if this is a better choice for you than Siargao. Now let's jump into it. And getting here is super easy. From Cebu City, there's a daily flight that takes less than 50 minutes and costs around $50 one way. You can also hop on a ferry from Mindanao or Bohol, depending on where you're going to be traveling from, and that is much cheaper. Once you do arrive, the island is nice and cozy. It's not very big. It only takes about 2 hours to drive around the entire circumference of it. And I recommend getting a motorbike to do that, but only if you have a license to do so. They cost between 300 and 500 pesos per day, and the roads here are really great. If you don't have a motorbike license, another option is to get a Multicab, one of those like jeepney little minivans. They cost around 1,800 for an 8-hour day, and they'll take you out to all the best spots. And right now I'm on White Island, which is one of the most beautiful places here on Camiguin. It is this white sandbar, just a few minute boat drive off the coast. It's 600 pesos to get a boat with, I think, up to 4 people, and a 50 peso environmental entrance fee. That is totally worth it. The water is so blue, the sand is so white, and there is nothing out here but nature. It's just you, the sand, the blue water, and Mount Hibok-Hibok behind me right here, one of the 7 volcanoes here on the island. It's just so peaceful, and something that sets it apart from a place like Siargao is that where there would normally be hundreds of people here, there's like 3. So you can come here and just enjoy yourself. Most of the boat drivers will rent you an umbrella for 200 pesos, and you can stay out here for up to 3 hours. It's great early in the morning or for sunset, and this is just the beginning. We're going to be going to an amazing waterfall right now and just really soak up this island vibe. So I will see you there. All right, we have arrived at the Katibawasan Falls. It is a 70-meter free drop waterfall, and I just walked in and you can already see it right there. Absolutely amazing. I think that Siargao is more like beach, and here is more like that raw nature. I mean, we're walking through the jungle to get out here, and it is so special. So let's head down to the falls and get a closer look. Wow, this is pretty amazing out here. Nature, it gets me every time, and this island is absolutely brimming with it. I don't know if that's how you say it, but it's definitely what it is. You can feel the wind coming off from that force of the water hitting the pool down below, and there's this mist in the air. It's actually kind of chilly, which I appreciate because it is pretty hot here, but the birds are flying around. You can see all of that greenery in the background. It's so special. And another great thing is that I'm the only one here. And that's something that at those popular destinations like Siargao or El Nino, there's so many people. You're literally queuing up to get photos. Here, you just walk right up and it's all yours. This is mine and your waterfall. Okay, I'll share it with you guys. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be selfish, but wow. It was 75 to enter, which seems like the magic number here on the island. I think everything is 75 to get in. And there's actually another waterfall on the other side that's totally worth checking out, called the Tuasan waterfall. It's only a 20-meter one, but the force of the water coming down is like thunder, which is amazing. So definitely go and check that one out. I was also one of like 3 people there, and they have little pools that you can sit in down at the bottom, sort of like here. They do have a rope up, so you probably can't go under the water because it might be too strong on your head. But just up the road from that other waterfall I just mentioned is a very cool coffee shop called Utopia. where you can go up and grab some sweets and coffee and just get this beautiful view of the island with the jungle down below. And you can even see the white island that we were just on before this in the distance, and it's a great place to go and watch sunset. So absolutely amazing. Put this one on your list. I think there's 3 or 4 waterfalls here and so much more. So let's keep this day going. Our next stop is a very special one. It kind of mixes history, nature, and the ocean all in one. Behind me here is one of the most unique landmarks here in the Philippines, the Sunken Cemetery. Back in 1871, there was a massive earthquake and eruption of Mount Vulcan, and this old graveyard actually sunk down below the sea. Now it is a famous snorkeling spot, and all of the old gravestones have actually been completely covered in coral, and nature has just reclaimed it. There's supposed to be fish everywhere, and we are going to be going and doing that in just a minute. It is 100 pesos to go into the marine park and 150 to have the required guide that's going to take us out. But before we do that, I wanted to mention something that most tourists missed, which is just a 2-minute ride up the street, and that is the old Spanish church ruins, which were also partially destroyed during that same event that created this. And it's so cool. I actually got to go and talk to a local about it and why it's so important to the people. So let's go check that out before we go and get wet.
Okay, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good
Welcome
morning.
to the Gold Church Ruins.
Thank you.
Sir, this is the main church. And also at the back, you can see the convent, the tower, and the centennial tree.
Okay.
Then this church was built in 1623 during Spanish colonial
Period.
period. Then this is the upper part of the church. Lower part buried by the lava and the volcanic debris.
In 1871?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I guess 12 feet deep.
Oh, wow.
Yes, sir.
That's a lot of lava.
Yeah. And the structure is made of corals, limestone, and egg.
So they mined it right from the coral reefs out
Yeah,
here?
sir.
Wow. And is it like special to the people here?
Yes, this is special, sir, because this is historical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And that centennial tree here is more than 150 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Camel tree. Thank you for visiting here, sir.
Salamat.
You're welcome, sir.
Wow. It really feels special here. I mean, generations of people walked through these halls that I'm in right now, and they built life here. They celebrated here, and then it all just disappeared when nature decided to show up. And I think that's one of the things that makes it so different here in Camiguin than a place like Siargao that has the surf and the cafes and all the fun. This also has history, it has weight to it, and it feels so real. So yeah, definitely stop by these while you're here because it's something that you can feel. All right, now that we've had some history, let's go have some fun, hop in the water, and see what we can find. Wow, that was some really nice snorkeling. I loved all the little fish and the corals, but those giant clams were huge. And the whole time I was looking at them, I was wondering what a giant clam tastes like. I don't know, maybe we can find out in a different video. There are also some other great activities around the island, and one of them is scuba diving. I'm not going to be going on this trip, but I did last time that I was here, and I did one of the best night dives of my life. It was absolutely incredible. The octopus, all the underwater darkness and creatures down there. Definitely worth it if you have the time and the budget. They also have a plethora of springs on the island. including a bunch of cold ones like the Santo Nino cold spring, which is this beautiful spring that is wrapped in the jungle. The water is so cool, so clear. It was really awesome, and it's a local spot, so you can go there and they're having such a good time, and you can really get a feel of that vibe here on the island. Another one is the soda water pool, where they actually have a naturally carbonated water that bubbles up and you can drink, that kind of has a bitter flavor to it like soda does. And they also have big pools there that you can hang out in. That is really fun and another great spot to see the locals. They have a hot spring, but I've heard that it's no longer hot because of an earthquake that happened a few years ago, so I skipped it. If you want to check it out, definitely do it. But right now, we are going to the crown jewel of Camiguin, and I cannot wait to show it to you because it is gonna blow your mind. So let's go and drive over there, hop on the boat, and check it out together. Wow, look at this water. This is what I call Gatorade blue, because it's just that electric blue, and I absolutely love it. This is Mantigue Island. It is a 20-minute ride from San Roque Port, and from the sky it looks like a teardrop in the ocean. When you get here, it's just super clear water, white sand, gorgeous trees, and that quiet that you are looking for in your island paradise. Now, it was 750 pesos to rent a boat for up to 6 people, and 75 pesos per person for the environmental fee. And it is such a great place to come out to. It really is, like, this island, Camiguin, has everything. On the mainland, you're talking about black sand, volcanic beaches, and then just 20 minutes away, you're in this white sand paradise. I guess it's like Michael Jackson says, "It don't matter if you're black or white." While you're out here, there's no restaurants or anything like that, so you need to make sure that you bring your own food and drinks with you. They do have free toilets, and if you want to go snorkeling, there is a fee for rental as well as a guide to bring you out, and you can see some beautiful sea turtles right off the shore here. They also have one scuba diving center on the island if that's your thing. And unlike on the White Island or sandbar we were on this morning, there's trees all over this island, so there are lots of places to sit in the shade where you can just have some private beachfront all to yourself. They also rent like cabanas and stuff, so if you want to bring out your own food and drinks, you can sit in those. And if you need a little break from the sun while you're on the island, they have a raised walkway that cuts through the center, so you can really experience the jungle. And it's so beautiful. I think that's one of those things here that really differentiates it from Siargao once again, is that you can get the beach and the nature right next to each other without those crowds. And I'm the only person out here walking right now. And just a few minute ride from the ferry port out to the island is the Katunggan Mangrove Park. And it's so peaceful here. Look at this, there's this raised boardwalk that goes up over the mangroves, which are an integral part of the ecosystem here. They help to protect the island from things like typhoons, and their deep roots keep the land where it's supposed to be. So this is a community-run project, and you can just hear the birds chirping and the sound of the water going through the roots. It's so special and definitely worth a stop. They also have some little raised platform sheds that you can sit in and rent for the day, where you can just go swimming and enjoy yourself. And while you're here, you might even meet some friendly locals that want to share some tanduay with you. The people here really are so friendly. It's such like a special thing about this island. You know, wherever I go, people are smiling and waving and asking you to sit down with them and where you're from, and you can tell that they really care, like they really want to know. And that's one of those things that makes Camiguin so amazing. Right now we are going to go and head for a little sunset where we can talk about why this is a better choice than Siargao, at least for me, and just enjoy a little more of the amazing nature here. Wow, what a great way to finish the day here on Camiguin. Such an amazing place, such a special place, and I think that if we're going to break it down now, the differences of whether or not it's better than Siargao, that we should start with prices. So Camiguin is about 40% less for accommodations, for food, for activities than you're going to pay in Siargao. So it's a definite win for me there. As far as places to stay, the main town where the airport is, I cannot think of the name right now, Mombajambo or something like that, is probably the best place to base yourself. I'm staying in Yumbing, which is just down at the end of the road. And I got a place for $1,500 a night. It's called the Haven Dwell, and it is right on the water. Super comfortable bed, everything you need. You can just get up and walk outside on the beach with that black volcanic sand. It's so nice, and the locals there are great. I even met a guy that gave me free coconuts every day, and the fishermen down there have drinks with me at sunset every night. It's also a great place to watch the sunset, but over here where I am is probably a better place, and just in front of me here is that Sunken Cemetery we went to earlier, and as you can see, it probably is a great backdrop, but I thought this was a little bit better up here. The second thing, you are going to talk about the crowds, and there are no crowds here, which is pretty special for me. Sometimes when you go someplace and you're standing in line to go in the waterfall or to get a photo or to sit in traffic, it's just too much. And Siargao has a lot of that, whereas Camiguin really doesn't have any. So that's a win for Camiguin. Again, getting here is super easy. Like I said, Cebu City, less than 1 hour flight, and you're here in this little island paradise. And while we're talking about island paradises, I think it really comes down to what you want in your vacation. Now, if you're looking for parties, the white sand beaches, and, you know, just having all of that craziness around, then Siargao is definitely probably the place for you. But for me, I like the peace. I like to experience the people, and the locals here have been absolutely amazing. My next video, I'm actually going out with locals for a day where we just hang out, enjoy each other's company. So definitely come back and check that one out. But yeah, I think that when you get a place like Siargao, it's so busy that the locals kind of lose some of that charm that they have for the tourists. Whereas here, when I drive around, every person that I see on the street, almost every person, is smiling and waving. And I think that that kind of like makes it feel a lot more like home. And they have a saying here, like the slogan of Camiguin is "Come again to Camiguin," because they genuinely want you to come again, and I can absolutely feel that when I'm here. So, you know, is it better than Siargao? For me, absolutely. Is it better than Siargao for you? Maybe not. When I was in my 20s, I probably would have gone with Siargao, and I was there 6 years ago. It was beautiful, but it was before those crowds. So it's all about what you are looking for. And I think that Camiguin has really what I think families want, what maybe people that are a little bit older, like me, I mean, still young, but a little bit older. But if you want to go out and be able to like really experience a place, I'm sitting on a little cliff right now with palm trees. Yeah, there's a few cars or motorbikes driving by, but it's mine. And my whole drive out here, I was passing little viewpoints where locals were sitting on their motorbikes with their families, just enjoying. Last night, I went out to one of the local baranggays. There's 5 towns here and 7 volcanoes. It actually has the most volcanoes of anywhere in the world for the size of the island. Very cool. But we ate squid on the side of the road and then danced until like 1 o'clock in the morning. It was so fun and funny. And that's what makes a place special for me. So it depends on the type of traveler you are. If you're just here for a few days, maybe Siargao is better for you. But I think that if you really want to experience the Philippines for what it is, and it's the people that make it special, then a place like Camiguin is definitely the choice for you. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to ling the Camiguin. I will see you next time when we go out with the locals and have the best day. Thanks for being here. Salamat.